Menteri Ramba Kajala Ukan Ratki sama ulaong baka Sorkar Jala kala Thung, kandai bu kandai laktam ki Tynrai Dieng Kajala nadu Snem arja arpo hadu arja arpusau. Haba jubab ya kejengkeli balawan ra da WMLA ke VP na mauring keneng uba Havingstone Kharparan. Menteri Ramba ulay thu bahagi ni South Snem baladam ka Sorkar kala Thung, kandai bu kandai lak hanyo pupra hajar lai spa sanpu arteli ki Tynrai Dieng, bat na kini arpulai lak hanyo pundriu hajar hanyo spa lai pusan teli ki Dieng, ba bat arpundriu lak kila yap no. Menteri Rangba ula pentip bala Thung arpundriu lak tam ki Tynrai daka forest, laipu ar lak tam daka soil and water conservation, bat saupu pra lak tam la Thung daka MBDA, MBMA. Ulaong baki daw ki ba penlong ya ki Dieng ban yap no kala bandai na ki jait sembai, ka jinglong ka jaka, ka jinglong ka khandau, ka bom sebo, ka jing thang klau. Ukan rat ulaong baka jing penlut ka balong chispa klur hakini ki South Nam baladap, bat kajing he ka jaka ka Thung Dieng kalong iway point kandai lak ki Tynrai Dieng haka shi hektar. Ulaong baki don buon ki daw baki Tynrai Dieng ki yap no, bat kajing hanyo po hadu hanyo pesan persen kamde ka basniu. Ulaong ru baka Sorkar haba ka Thung Dieng ka penti kena bandon kajing trilang bat ki pat ba ka shnong kenang ban penlong kajing Thung Dieng ka bajob. Ka don ru kajing sumar kini ki Dieng ki Thung haki jaka ba pher watla kamde ka batista. Haka juga por ulaong baka Climate Council katmu ban sumar ya kamariang banyada ya ka klau ya ka khandau ka kawa lingba ka program bapher na kitna Sorkar kum ka NREGS bat kiwe.
Global warming, as concerned by one of our member from Nukram Baden, the other day he said that there is a normal rise in temperature in our state. So maybe due to depletion of forest covers, is it correct?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I mean, one of the reasons for the rise of temperature and the effect of global warming in our state. So, is it due to the depletion of forest covers?
Sir, it's a very broad question, of course, that honourable member has asked, but a very important question nonetheless. That at the end of the day, we have global warming is not just a Meghalaya phenomena alone, it's a global phenomenon. Sir. And therefore, many activities lead to global warming. And of course, the deforestation is something that adds to the impact on global warming. And afforestation, of course, is something that helps the process of mitigating the effects of global warming. But there are many other factors that affect global warming. But yes, deforestation has a certain impact. It will be difficult to say that it's this percentage or that percentage. But as I said, all kind of things, but it's more of the anthropogenic activities that actually lead to it, which is the human activities that are there, the CO2 emissions, the different aspects of pollution. So all of these factors are also there, sir. It's a larger scope of discussion. It will be difficult for me to give a brief answer to this. But yes, in short, it does impact, sir.
One last question, sir. Thank you, Honorable Chief Minister. So one last question. What is the role of Meghalaya State Council on climate change and sustainable development? What is its role, sir?
So this is a completely different question, but since the honourable member has asked, and I can just give a basic idea. That's the Climate Council, and is basically meant to address the issue of climate change and sustainability in the long run, sir. What we have seen, sir, is that many departments are working in silos. So you have the forest department that grows and plants or protects the forest. There is a soil conservation department that is trying to conserve the soil, as at the same time the different kind of springs that are there. The water resource department is trying to conserve the catchment areas. At the same time, CNRD is spending almost about 30 to 40% of the MGNREGS budget on water conservation. The mining department has got funds under MEPRF to rejuvenate and to protect the different rivers. The environment department has triple MCR fund of close to 200-300 crores, where we are meant to again protect the environment. We have the SPV of 99 lakhs 78,352 number of saplings planted in the state from 2020 till June 2024. B, so the total number of saplings which have survived out of A above is 73 lakhs 76,735, sir.
Karpran, your supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I should thank the Honorable Chief Minister for giving the reply. I know from the Honorable Chief Minister the total amount spent for planting of these saplings and also the total area forested in terms of hectares.
Sir, in terms of total cost, the exact number is, the exact means the exact number is not available with me right now, but we have spent approximately 100 crores in the last 5 years, sir. And roughly, sir, if you look at the overall plantation that has been done, then it is an average, so if you go with a thumb rule of about 1.19 lakhs per hectare is there, that is required. So, so let's just do the maths a bit. But roughly, so I'll have to exactly get the number. But as I said, about 100 crores has been spent in the last 5 years, sir.
So, when we see the numbers, 99,78,352 number of saplings planted in the last 4 years. The success rate is about 73.93%, while the mortality rate, means sapling died, is 26 lakhs 1,617. That means the mortality rate is 26.07%. So what are the reasons for the mortality? And also what are the preventive measures to reduce such mortality?
So there are multiple reasons for the mortality of the plants. Of course, sir, 75% plus minus is not a bad survival rate, given the difficult conditions that they are planted in. But yes, of course, our desire would be to see that 100% survive. But just to give an idea, sir, the reasons could be anything from sometimes particular seed quality is not up to the mark sometimes, where particular seed, not the whole bunch, but a particular seed could be affected or infected. That could be some of the reasons. In some areas, the landscape and the slopes that are there, in certain areas, the soil conditions that are there, which may not be completely fertile, and therefore, though our efforts are made to ensure that we support it, it could still lead to some shortcomings. At the same time, sir, there could be anthropogenic activities which could be leading to forest fires and other activities. So these are things that can happen, sir. So grazing also is there, which is another factor that leads to these kind of mortality. But see, overall, sir, of course, we are making efforts that wherever we are planting these kind of trees and plantations, we are ensuring that we try and bring in the community into the activities. And once the community is involved, then the success rate is always higher, sir. So those mechanisms are being explored. And in the future, as I said, more and more involvement of community in some way where we are able to incentivize the entire process is also being considered. And we're hopeful, sir, that we will be able to increase this particular survival rate from 75% to maybe further to hope that we'll be reaching about even 100%, sir.
So please name these few
To work together and get better results. So the main purpose of the climate councils is to give a direction to the efforts that are being made by different departments, to ensure that the money that is being used by different departments is done in consultation with each other, so that the money we spend goes into actual outcome that is there. I'll just give a simple example of how the climate change made a very simple decision which has impacted our working system, sir. The PHE department identified 750 crucial springs which needed to be immediately rejuvenated, and they did not have the funds meant for it. The soil conservation has received funds to rejuvenate about 2,000 springs. But when we looked at the list of the soil conservation department, these 700 critical locations which PHE required the springs in was not there in the soil conservation department's list. When the climate council came together, we realized this mismatch. And we said, well, then the soil conservation department should first take up these 750 critical locations which PHE department requires. A simple coordination like that, sir, we miss out because we don't talk to each other. And therefore, the State Council on Climate Change is meant to just do these kind of small bits of coordination. And we're hopeful, sir, as the days go by, we'll be able to have better coordination, spend the funds that we have in a much better manner, talk to each other, and ultimately keep our focus on the main objective of climate change and sustainability, rather than getting down to only becoming implementing agencies and scheme-based departments, and basing our success only on the basis of the check dams we created, rather than the water that we conserved. So that's the basic idea, sir, but there's much more to it. I have limited time, so I'll not be able to explain, and plus it's beyond the scope of the question, sir. But I was happy to just share those thoughts with the Honorable Member.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.